Girls say this when they think you are interesting. Hey there, it's Anna. Have you ever caught certain phrases coming from her that made you pause and wonder, does she think I'm interesting? Well, today we are diving into exactly that. I'll be sharing the key phrases girls use when they genuinely find you captivating. It's not just about the words themselves, but the intention behind them that screams, "You've caught my attention." And by the end of this video, you will be equipped to recognize these verbal cues and understand how they reflect her interest in you. Before we start, anyone looking to revamp their dating approach? Click the link below for a free 60-minute strategy call with one of our coaches. 1. I love hearing you talk about this. When a girl says this, she's expressing genuine enjoyment and interest in the topic you are discussing, especially if it's something you are passionate about. This is your cue to dive deeper into the subject. Share more about what excites you, what challenges you faced, and what fascinating insights you've gained. Paint a vivid picture of your experience with the topic and invite her to ask questions or share her own thoughts along the way. For example, let's say you've been talking about a hobby that you are really into, like photography. If she says, "I love hearing you talk about this," you might respond with something like, "That's so great to hear. You know, I've been working on this amazing project lately where I'm trying to capture the essence of our city at dawn. Let me tell you about it." From there, you can launch into a specific, engaging story that showcases your passion in action. As you share, pay attention to her reactions. Is she leaning in, asking follow-up questions, or sharing her own experiences? These are all signs that she's genuinely interested and wants to hear more. 2. Can you show me how to do that? When a girl asks you this, she's expressing interest in learning a skill or activity that you know well. It's a sign that she sees you as knowledgeable and capable, and she trusts you to guide her. When you hear this phrase, offer to give her a hands-on demonstration or a step-by-step explanation. Break the process down into manageable pieces and guide her through each one patiently. As you teach, check in regularly to make sure she's following along and to answer any questions that come up. For instance, imagine you've been telling her about your culinary skills and she says, "Can you show me how to make that dish you were talking about?" You could respond with, "Absolutely. It's actually easier than you might think." And the first step is to gather all your ingredients, which are, and from there, walk her through the recipe, sharing tips and anecdotes along the way. Pay attention to her engagement level throughout. Is she asking clarifying questions, making jokes, or sharing her own kitchen adventures? These are all indicators that she's enjoying the interaction and wants to keep it going. 3. How do you know so much about this? When a girl asks this, take it as a major compliment. She's expressing admiration for your knowledge and expertise, and she's curious to know more about how you've acquired such a deep understanding of the subject. This is your opportunity to share the story behind your expertise. Talk about the experiences, education, or passions that have fueled your learning journey. Focus not just on the facts that you've accumulated, but on the personal growth and insights you've gained along the way. For example, let's say you've been discussing a period of history that you are particularly knowledgeable about. If she asks, "How do you know so much about this?" you might say something like, "It's been a fascinating journey. It all started when I stumbled across this old book in my grandpa's library. From there, I just couldn't stop learning about it." Use this as a launching point to share a personal narrative that showcases your passion for learning and your dedication to the subject. As you share, watch for signs of her continued interest, such as follow-up questions, related stories of her own, or expressions of awe at your knowledge. These are all green lights to keep the conversation flowing. 4. Can you recommend something for me? Whenever a girl asks for your recommendation, whether it's for a book, movie, restaurant, or anything else, it's a sign that she trusts your taste and values your opinion. She sees you as someone with discernment and wants to benefit from your insight. When this happens, offer a thoughtful, personalized recommendation based on what you know about her interests and preferences. Don't just toss out a title or name, explain why you'd think she would enjoy your suggestion, and invite her to share her own thoughts and experiences in return. Let's say she's asked you to recommend a great book. You can say something like, "Based on what you were saying about your love for adventure stories, I think you'd really enjoy Into the Wild. It's this gripping tale of a man who leaves society behind to live in the Alaskan wilderness. Have you read anything like that before?" And by framing your recommendation in the context of her interests and inviting her to share her own, you open the door for a rich, engaging discussion. As you talk, watch for signs of excitement or curiosity from her, such as eager questions or related anecdotes. These signal that your suggestion has hit the mark and she's keen to explore the topic further with you. Now, if these dating tips are helping you, imagine what a personalized strategy session could do. Click the link button, click the like button, drop us a comment, and don't forget to book your free strategy call to discover how to meet more women and date with assurance. The link is in the pinned comment. 5. I'd love to try that sometime. Pay close attention when a girl says this in response to an activity or experience you've mentioned. This phrase is a clear indication that she's not just interested in your hobbies or passions, but that she's open to exploring them with you. When you hear this, seize the moment to make a concrete plan. Suggest a specific time, date, or occasion when you could enjoy the activity together. Express your enthusiasm about sharing the experience with her and paint an enticing picture of what it could be like. For instance, imagine you've been telling her about your love for hiking and she says, "I'd love to try that sometime." You could respond with, "That would be fantastic. You know, I'm planning a hike to Maple Ridge next Saturday. The views from the summit are breathtaking. If you're free, I would love for you to come along." By offering a specific plan, you demonstrate that you are serious about including her in your life and that you value her company. As you discuss the potential outing, pay attention to her level of enthusiasm. Is she eagerly contributing ideas, asking questions, or expressing excitement? These are all signs that she is genuinely interested in the experience and in spending more time with you. 6. I've never thought about it that way. When a girl says this to you, it means you've introduced her to a fresh perspective that has captured her interest and made her think. It's a sign that she's impressed by your unique viewpoint and eager to understand it better. When this happens, take the opportunity to elaborate on your perspective. Share the experiences, insights, or thought processes that have shaped your view. As you explain, invite her to contribute her own thoughts and experiences. This creates a dynamic, engaging exchange of ideas. For example, let's say you've just shared your unconventional take on a popular movie. If she responds with, "I've never thought about it that way," you could say something like, "It's a perspective I arrived at after a lot of thought. I realised that if you look at the story from this angle, it casts the characters in a whole new light. What's your take on it? Have you ever had a movie challenge your initial impressions like that?" By inviting her to share her own thoughts, you demonstrate respect for her intelligence and create an opportunity for mutual learning and connection. As you discuss, look for signs of continued engagement, such as thoughtful questions, related observations, or expressions of excitement about seeing things in a new way. These indicate that your perspective has truly captured her interest. 7. I could listen to you talk about this all day. Finally, if a girl ever tells you, "I could listen to you talk about this all day," consider it the ultimate compliment. This phrase signifies that she's utterly captivated by you, your stories, your insights, your way of communicating. It's a sign that she's not just enjoying the conversation, but that she's relishing the very experience of listening to you. When you hear this phrase, recognize it for the powerful invitation it is. She's telling you in no uncertain terms that she's thoroughly engaged and eager to hear more from you. So keep sharing, but also make sure to give her plenty of opportunities to contribute and connect. You might respond with something like, "Wow, that means so much to me to hear you say that. I'm having a great time talking with you too. What about this topic really resonates with you? I'd love to hear your perspective." By expressing your mutual enjoyment and inviting her to share her own thoughts, you transform the moment from a one-sided monologue into a rich, rewarding dialogue. As you continue, pay attention to her body language and responses. Is she fully engaged, leaning in, offering thoughtful comments? These are all signs that the connection between you is real, powerful, and filled with potential. So, now that you know the signs that she thinks that you are interesting, what's next for you? Discover the signs that you are a sexually attractive guy or learn how to read her body language. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more.